Hi, my name is Daniel Silvé. I'm 50 years of age. I reside in Brighton, England, and today I'm going to share with you the time when God clearly spoke to me. But first, let me give you a little background about my life. Now, for 42 years I had no interest in God, Jesus, religion or church whatsoever. In fact, I was put off as a teenager when I was forced to go to Sunday school by my mother, who never even came with me. I grew up thinking there was more chance that we came from a race of alien beings than there was being a God. And at school I found religious education so boring. As a young adult I used to heckle the guys in the street who were preaching about God and Jesus. And at an even younger age I did have this strong belief that I was simply more than flesh, blood and bones. I felt certain there was a spirit inside of me that was totally separate from my body. Then one afternoon, on the Tuesday of November 14th, 2006 in Mombasa, Kenya, this was confirmed for me. Now, while I would never have considered myself evil, I certainly was not living a good life by any means. My purpose for being in Kenya at the time was to have sex with as many women as possible, so I had become what is known as a sex tourist. Now you see, years earlier I had came out of a very messy divorce, and my ex took our daughter to Australia in 2001, and I was told our daughter does not need a father. And after that I thought, no way am I going to date again. But I still had physical urges to be a woman, so I felt the safe way was to use the services of prostitutes and pornography, and I thought it was okay. I thought I wasn't harming anybody or myself until this happened. Now, as business was finally concluded with this Kenyan lady, who was still in the same room as me, by the way, when this happened, I was just sitting there in this cottage by the sea when this presence just left me. I was still inside my body. This was not an out-of-body experience. While I could not see the presence, I could sense it, feel it if you like. It was about 2 meters in front of me, about where you are now. I can tell you this was the most lowliest I felt. It was the most quietest, most eeriest, most scariest I've ever felt. Now, I have been close to death at least 3 times, twice by my own hand. I'd attempted suicide and I was not even scared then. But this was totally different. I did not like this at all. On reflection, this must have been some kind of preview to what separation from what God is like. And to the good folks out there listening, I don't recommend this at all. While I could not hear any sounds with my ears, this presence in front of me spoke very clearly, and it's directed not to my ears, but to my heart. This presence said, if you're going to carry on doing this to yourself, I will leave you. And then, shoom, this presence returned. This was a wake-up call. This was a warning, one which I took serious, and I'm so glad I did. A few weeks later I started reading the Bible, well, the 100-minute version, that is. I wasn't ready for that big book yet. And then I started going to church, I got saved, and I attended an Alpha course, which is where you learn about Christianity, and it's also where I learned more about God through His Son Jesus. I was baptized in the Spirit at an Alpha weekend. My life is so different now, far from perfect I might add. While it's true I have backslidden a few times since, but what I found out was that the desire for those things had gone. Why? Simply as they are not fulfilling. Because I have something deeper, a relationship with our Father in heaven. I have a greater peace, a stronger identity, a sense of belonging, lighter shoulders, no longer striving for the things of this world. I realise I'm far more loved than I first believed. I have no fear of getting old, much less fear in general, and a complete belief that one day everything will be the way it was originally intended to be. I'm excited about the things that God teaches me each day, and my education will never be complete of Him in this life. And I've also heard Him speak to me a few times since, and you know, when I think back, He was attempting to get my attention a long time ago. I just stubbornly refused to acknowledge Him, which explains why He went to extraordinary lengths to get my attention. Why? Simply put, I am one of millions of His beloved children, and He was relentlessly pursuing me. No matter how many times I messed up in my life, He never gave up on me. His love is unconditional. Thank you for listening.